The Phantom of the Opera. The beautiful singer Christine Daae becomes an overnight success at the famous Paris Opera House. However, behind her success lies a mystery. She has been receiving singing lessons from the opera house ghost, Eric, who calls himself the Angel of Music. Raoul, who is Christine's childhood friend, is in love with her, and he is worried that someone is trying to harm Christine. In this scene, Christine and Raoul meet at the opera house. Because she is afraid that someone is following them, they enter a room, and she locks the door. Christine sighed, then took Raoul's hand in hers. "I asked you to come here tonight because I wanted to say goodbye. I am leaving, Raoul. You will never see me again." Raoul was shocked. "What? Where are you going?" "Why don't you tell me what's going on, Christine? Explain yourself, I beg you." "Perhaps someday," Christine murmured. "I must go now, Raoul. Do not follow me." Christine unlocked the door, and Raoul watched her leave. A few minutes later, he was back in the foyer, but Christine had disappeared. Raoul went to Christine's dressing room to look for her, but he found it empty. He searched the room, hoping to find a clue as to who the man Christine had been talking about the other day was. Then he heard footsteps in the passageway. He quickly hid behind the curtain and watched as Christine came in and sat down at her dressing table. "Poor Eric," she said softly. Just then, a sound filled the little dressing room. It was the sound of a man singing. The voice was beautiful and clear, and Christine seemed to be hypnotized by it. Raoul watched as Christine stood up in front of the enormous mirror that covered one wall of the room. "Here I am, Eric. I am ready," she said. Suddenly, the mirror swung open, and the room was filled with a dazzling light. The light was so bright Raoul had to look away. When he looked back again, the mirror had closed and Christine had vanished. Raoul couldn't believe what he had seen. He rushed forward and tried to push the mirror open, but it wouldn't move. Confused and frustrated, Raoul sat down on the chair and buried his head in his hands. "Who is this Eric?" he wondered aloud. The next day, Raoul returned to Madame Valerius's apartment. To his great astonishment, he found Christine sitting at her bedside. It seemed that the two women had been talking to each other for quite some time. Christine looked fresh and radiant, and Raoul was so stunned to see her that he could hardly speak.